For your Caesar.
It's a 10 pose production.
For your Caesar.
Rascal Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City, ride with me for your Caesar. For your Caesar. Cardiff City, get litty for your Caesar. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. For your Caesar. Grab a little something for your Caesar. We the geezers. Swagger stone cold like freezers. She want a diff boy. She want Starvz, not fit.
Yes guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. Welcome back to the channel. Bit of an impromptu video, right? Because I've been asked to go and do the co-commentary on Merthyr versus Cardiff under-21s tonight. So a bit of a change of plan, but it's okay. It's okay. The only place where you can get Cardiff City talk, proper analysis, absolutely no PR fluff, 7 days a week, all things Cardiff City. And this is a bit of a roundup of the news as we dive into everything going on at the club right now, from those swirling takeover rumours, the transfer silence, tomorrow's final pre-season test against Notts County. Let's grab a cup of tea, strap in, we're going to break it all down. So let's start with the takeover. It's on everyone's lips, everyone's talking about it. Takeovers, plural. Let's be clear, right? There is 100% something to it. Multiple well-placed sources have confirmed that there's 2, maybe 3 interested parties. They've all had contact with the club or intermediaries in some sort of fashion, and it's not just speculation from some random Twitter accounts. There is conversations, but, and it is a big but, it is not close, it is not done, it is not agreed. Anyone who claims that there's been an EFL fit and proper purpose test done and completed is wrong. I've checked that, multiple people in EFL and otherwise, it's just not true. The other rumour I saw this week was that Vincent Ham was in London for a meeting regarding the takeover. No, wasn't. So don't get too carried away with it, right? People are going to track flights and they're going to do all these different things. I get it. There's a lot of noise around it. I'm sure the trust and people will all comment at some point. I'm sure the club will comment it at some point. But it is what it is, right? Now, just because there's nothing concrete sort of in terms of an agreement in place now, doesn't mean it's all hot air. There is far from it. There are whispers of different things, different people. Ultimately, it'll all come out in the wash. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. As I told you last Sunday, whatever happens, there is no guarantee that it will happen because Vincent Tan might change his mind. The other thing is Vincent Tan could agree to sell and then we could win the first 5-6 games and he changes his mind. He might sell, he might not, who knows. And then even if he did agree to sell, it would take 6 months because they'd have to agree to fee. And then when they've agreed to fee, they've got to work out the structure of the fee. Then they've got to sort out the debt. Then they've got to sort out the EFL fit and proper purpose test. That takes months. There's a whole host of different issues that take months. So nothing is going to happen anytime soon. I cannot wait for the football season to start. Again, it is pretty much as you were. There's no agreement in place. There's no done deal. Nothing is imminent. But there is talks and they are ongoing. Could something progress quickly behind the scenes? Of course it can. But it would still take ages because there's still loads of different elements that have to be sorted out and agreed, and it just takes a long time. Let's move on to a more footballing topic. No signings? What's the plan? Who knows? Now let's move on to the question. Gets asked 50 times a day. Where's the signings? Who are we going to bring in? Are anything close? I get it. It's natural to feel anxious, nervous about it. No club wants to go into the season light. No club wants to go into this season with no signings. Like, signings give you optimism, they give you excitement, and it's tricky. At the moment it looks like the players that are in the squad are going to be the squad, but in reality is this, right? At this stage, I wouldn't expect any incomings in the immediate future. The vibe I'm getting is that any movement now is going to be late in the window, most likely through loan moves. Not guaranteed by any means, things can always change. But I think the Premier League loan market is probably where we're at. Think of the under-21s and internationals who will be available after the Premier League clubs get back off tour. There's going to be some serious players there. Of course, there's also a possibility of a very specific target, someone that Brian Barry Murphy has worked with before or rates really highly, that could become available. And then you have a domino effect and it kind of works through it. But here's the key bit. Brian Barry Murphy is happy with the core group that he has. He believes in the young players. He's getting big energy from Eli King, Dylan Lawler, Ruben Colwell, Yusuf Salic. He sees the potential in these players. He knows the style he wants to play. And he's confident that these players are not only capable of playing his way, but they're absorbing his ideas and his philosophy. So while we all think and want 3, maybe 4 new faces, and trust me, I do, I think his calmness tells you that his rebuild is very deliberate. It's not rushed, it's not panic, it's a process. He stopped the club's signings that they were in place. He wants who he wants. Now, when you look at the squad depth, what do I think he needs? Well, I think if you're real with it, I think even he would admit we're a little bit lighter fullback area, because at the moment we're going in with 4 kids effectively in Kipaki and Spears on the right and Giles and Bagan on the left, all under 23. Both, they're all talented, all young. Kipakio's coming off an injury. You've got Perry NG is out for the time being, so you feel like they need support. Now, will they go with, some of the experienced players who can fill in there? I don't know. Centre backs, you've got Dylan Lawler, you've got Will Fish, you've got Callum Chambers, you've got Darland. Unless one of them goes, I'm not sure we get a centre back, despite what many of us would like to think. Left back, I think Louis Giles will go on loan, but again, it'll probably be later in the window. Joe Bagan is going to be looking to be the starting left back. Centre midfield, I know we want players, but we've got Wintle, we've got King stepping up in the 6. You've got Joe Colwell, Alex Robertson, and David Turnbull. It's a lot of central midfielders. That's without bringing in the likes of Mafiko and younger players. It's a lot. Goalkeepers, you've got Halworth, you've got Halworth, I would say, is unconvincing with the ball at his feet. Alnwick is decent with his feet, but maybe unconvincing with shot stopping and a little bit injury issues. BABM might still want a new number 1 unless he thinks David Turner. Matt Turner is the guy. I don't know. But I think we need a really direct left winger. But Isaac Davis was really, really impressive off the left the other day. Callum Robinson can play off the left. Ollie Tanner, Kean Ashford. And then you've got young Naya Kahawa, who's done well in pre-season. Do I think we need someone who's direct, someone who can stretch teams, beat a man, create space for the likes of Colwell, Salic, Robinson, etc.? Yeah, I do. But maybe the manager doesn't. I don't know. So yes, Brian Barry Murphy, he might be calm. But his squad still needs a few chess pieces for me. But I also think this squad, as it is decent. I just think it's not top tier for this league. But I might be shocked by some of the younger players. You never quite know how the younger players are going to step up. Now let's look at Notts County and a bit of a mini preview, right? You'd expect with Notts County Saturday and Peterborough a week away, you'd expect that this would be where Brian Barry Murphy goes with his strongest 11, right? Well, not quite, because from what he's saying, the players who didn't get many minutes or didn't get any minutes against QPR are going to get minutes and longer tomorrow. He is looking for cohesion. Alex Robertson, I would expect to play a big part tomorrow. Eli King, who's looked, very, very good in pre-season, I would expect him to play a large part. Joel Colwell, same thing. His energy and his technical ability, that'll be interesting to witness. Will Fish, Jesper Darland, and then you've got Alnwick. Howverth, I think they all play. And I've probably missed a couple as well. So rather than maybe the classic first half strong side, second half mix, I think we'll probably get a mix throughout. But I might be wrong, I'm guessing. I would expect a bit more rotation than you normally expect from the pre-season a week before the season. Maybe he goes with the strongest 11 for half and then keeps a couple of others and switches things up. I'm not sure, but I think if you're going in demanding, expecting that strongest 11, maybe don't, because you might be disappointed. And look, fair enough, by the way, right? BBM's whole philosophy is about trusting the process, developing and understanding the players he's got, keeping a cool head, don't panic, and build on the tactical roles, the balance, the patterns, the behaviour of the team. So what are we going to be watching tomorrow? So I can only judge this on what we've seen so far, but what should we be keeping an eye out on against Notts County? Well, number one, I think the midfield shape. I think Eli King, Alex Robertson, and probably Joel Colwell start. It's a guess, though. Will BBM go for the same patterns? Will we see the same patterns that we saw against QPR, but with different personnel? If so, that'll be super, super encouraging, because that'll show that the tactics and the patterns and the rotations will be the same no matter who the personnel are. Will we see Ruben Colwell? He's been on fire in pre-season, aggressive, energetic, demanding the ball, producing moments of magic. Will he rest him? Will he give his brother a go in the 10? Will he go with Alex Robertson in the 10? Or will he go with Ruben for a half or an hour? It's going to be fascinating, because I can only think that he's going to want to keep him in that rhythm and that form that he's been in these last few games. Salic, Isaac Davis, Callum Robinson. I mean, Yusuf Salic only played a small real role against QPR, so I'd expect him to start. But will we be looking just with him? Will we see Isaac off the left? Will we see Isaac come on for Salic later in the game? Will Callum Robinson get off the left? Because I'd like to see a Salic-Robinson combo start to build, because they barely played together last year. Barely at all. So that's interesting. Then you've got the backline mix. Dylan Lawler and Callum Chambers looked really impressive together. Does he go with that partnership again to build it? Do we see Fish and Lawler, Fish and Darland? It's a very dynamic and interesting thing. Who starts a fullback? I think Louis Giles probably gets some minutes. Then on the right, do you see someone like Spears come in to make sure Bagan and Kepakio are fresh for the following week? Or do they need rhythm? Again, the manager will decide. Goalkeeper watch. And this is an interesting one. I would like to see Matt Turner play, because I would like to see him get opportunities to make a stake for that number one spot. But it's a big one. Does Howverth start? Does Alnwick start? Alnwick, I don't think, has played any pre-season games yet, so he probably needs minutes. And kind of wrapping up, and it's been a strange week. You've had the takeover whispers getting louder. There hasn't really much changed since I talked about it last week, Sunday, Monday. But I think it's important that we just clarified everything and round everything up, because everybody wants the takeover, but it's not something which is going to come like tomorrow. So we need to be patient and relax. We've got a squad that does feel a couple of pieces short, but we've got a manager who's calm and quietly confident in this group. So let's trust him, because so far the signs have been really exciting. And, you go into a fixture a week away from the first game of the season, we're going to look for more of those signs of shape, of intent, of aggressiveness, of sharpness, and not necessarily a finalised 11, but I want to see more one-touch passing, more rotations, more patterns, because that is something that is giving this very much work in progress a real feel of excitement. BBM is in full control of the football side of things, and that in itself is a step forward from the chaos that we usually see at Cardiff City. The football side is taking care of itself. Let's let the other side, the off-the-field stuff, let's just let it run its course. Thank you so much for joining me. I threw this video a bit together at the last minute. I was going to do a live, but I appreciate you all so much. If you want to be part of the journey with this channel, you love the club, you love the honest conversation, the balanced conversation, and you want more exclusive deep dives, interviews, members only shows, you can become a member for the price of a coffee per month. You'll be supporting Cardiff City World directly. Helps us to make content 7 days a week for you. We are growing the community, building something properly fan driven for Cardiff City fans by Cardiff City fans. You also will get early access to live events, tickets. You will also get members only specials and a whole lot more. So hit subscribe, drop a comment, like, post your predictions for Notts County. Let me know what your starting lineup you expect to be. And we'll be back tomorrow night for the post-match breakdown. This has been Cardiff City World. I've been Si, and I will see you in a bit. Keep the faith. Have a great weekend.
Maxwell Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City ride with me for your Caesar.